Hello viewers, welcome back to this channel. Today we will look at another chapter of the Bhagwat Gita and understand the messages it imparts us. My name is Ritesh Raj, so let's begin. Today we are going to do chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the opulence of the absolute. And in this chapter we are going to look at the different forms that Krishna is found in the animate or in the inanimate forms around us. So to begin with, in this chapter, Lord Krishna says to Arjun that I'll give you knowledge that is better than what I've already explained to you. All the great sages that exist and all the demigods that exist around us and that we have talked about earlier, such as the sun, even Brahmaji and Shivji, are all created by me. I am the Supreme. No one understands why I come to earth in a human form. Sages and demigods have tried to understand why Krishna does certain things, but they have failed to understand it completely. To be freed from all sins, one has to understand Krishna as someone who is the unborn, someone who is beginningless, and someone who is the supreme Lord of all the worlds. Qualities of all living beings have all been created by the Lords, and some of the qualities that is mentioned in the chapter are, for example, intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses and the mind, happiness, distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence. The Lord gives a genealogical progression of this world. He says that Brahma was the first who was created out of my energy. The four great sages in the beginning, and the names of the great sages that have been referred here are Sanaka, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar. And then the seven sages who came after them, they were the first ones. Everyone else has been created thereafter. He then says that I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. I shun the darkness that one may have with shining light of knowledge. Arjun then says that I am now fully convinced that you are the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. All the great sages such as Narad, Asit, Deval and Vyas, they have all confirmed this fact, and it is a great honor and pleasure for me that you are now declaring it to me yourself. Please tell me in detail about your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. O Janardhan, Arjun says, please describe in detail the mystic powers of your opulences. Krishna says to Arjun, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only those which are prominent, because there are so many other manifestations and Krishna wants to focus on the ones that really matter to Arjun. And then he goes on to list all the manifestations. So he says that of all the seated in the hearts of all living entities, I am the super soul, I am the beginning, middle and the end of all beings. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of the lights, I am Sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. Among the stars, I am the moon. Of the Vedas, I am the Samveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra. Of the senses, I am the mind. Of living beings, consciousness. Of the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of the vibrations, I am the Transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names. Of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. Among aquatics, I am Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama. Among dispensers of law, I am Yama. Among Daityas, I am Prahlada. Among subduers, I am Time. Among beasts, I am the lion. Among birds, Garuda. Of purifiers, the wind. Among the wielders of weapon, I am Ram. Of fishes, I am the shark. Of the flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Of letters, I am the first letter of the alphabet A. Among compound words, I am dual compounds. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Among hymns in the Samved, I am Brihitsama. Of poetry, I am Gayatri. And he carries on mentioning the other opulences. For example, of months, I am Marga Sirsa. Of seasons, I am spring. Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva. Of the Pandavas, I am Arjun. Of the sages, I am Vyas. Among great thinkers, I am Usana. Among compound words, I am dual compounds. Um, among all the opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations, I am just a spark of splendor. So this really ends the chapter 10. So before we finish, let's just quickly look at the summary. And in this chapter, what Krishna says is that just as even great sages and demigods um, fail to understand why Krishna does certain things the way he does, we don't know why certain events happen to us. So, for example, we may have a lot of failures. We fall, but yet again we rise up, and we try and try and try again. We try 4 times, we fail again, and then we give up. Now, what we do not understand is why Lord wanted us to try for the very 5th time for us to become successful. Same for defeat, same for any other actions or things that you wanted to do, but you've been struggling with, and you don't know why you are unable to do it. All we can do is to keep trying, try and try again. And the second thing is always believe in God despite tribulation. So I may give examples. For example, if you want to, let's say, in the UK context, especially for children, you might be thinking of appearing for your 11 plus exams, or you wanted to go to a particular university, or you wanted to do a particular degree, and you couldn't do it. So you don't understand why things are happening the way they are, and why they're not happening the way you wanted them to happen. Now imagine that you were supposed to become an architect, and you've been dabbling your time with music, and you failed in music, and ultimately you became the architect. So if you had spent your time in music, obviously you wouldn't have spent enough time to become a very good architect. So that's one example of why things do not happen. If I get into the context of India, for example, there are many students who want to get into IITs, and they fail to get into it. But it may be because they were more suited to become doctors, or they were more suited to become astronomers, for example. So always trust in God. Always think that things that are happening to you are happening because of a reason, and and keep praying God, and especially Krishna, and have faith in Him. Thank you very much. We will see you soon in the next chapter of Gita. Bye.